Well, we're in the fourth section. And the fourth section has got to do with building a contact team. And I'll tell you something, it's not, real estate is not a sport you do by yourself. You need a team. There's no other way to do it. One of the first things we try to do is get you a good title company. And we work with you. We'll make the phone call. We actually act like your business partner, and we'll call up and talk to the manager and feel them out. Feel them out about double closing and how do they feel about subject to and lease options and all the rest of the hard questions you try to build a relationship with. Then we help you understand, how do you negotiate with real estate agents? How do I find the right one to find comps and work with me on low offers and try to find sellers that have no equity, things like that. And maybe even get access to their MLS. What do you say when you talk to them? It's so important. You can screw it up so easily. There's a lot of agents that don't like real estate investors, and they don't own property. So, we look for the right kinds of agents. Appraisers, how do you find appraisers that can do a quick drive-by appraisal for you? Contractors, this is where you can really lose your shirt, if you don't have good paperwork and good agreements for your contractors. And there's other people too. You need repair people that can do just spruce up work, change knobs and locks and things like that. You need a good insurance agent. You need a good CPA. And there's really two kinds of attorneys. The first kind of attorney that you need a landlord-tenant attorney that can understand that if you have a dissatisfied tenant and you go to court, what's the judge going to say? And what kind of paperwork do you need? So I talk to the attorney for you. And the other one is who can draft some very creative agreements like land trusts and joint ventures and things of that nature. And what kind of questions, how can you interview these attorneys to make sure that you're not making a mistake? So we help you with that. Termite people, surveyors, and then we move on to money contacts, and these are people that can help you fund your deals. Local banks, small little commercial banks are good, not the big banks, the big name banks. What questions do you ask those people? How do you find a good mortgage broker? What questions do you ask a mortgage broker? How do you find hard money? And then private lenders. Private lenders, I love private lenders. Private lenders that can say, look, if I bring you a deal, what kind of deals are you willing to fund? How much? Okay? And ideally, it's a 5-year kind of private mortgage that you want. So if you, as an example, let's say that you're in a marketplace for $100,000 houses, that's common, and you can buy one for 70, and you need another 10 to clean it up, so you need 83,000 to go buy it, and the private lender will fund the whole thing at like 6% interest, maybe better than their CD, better than a good rate of return, and if you don't pay them, they can take the house. So there's great collateral. So that's the kind of private lender that I look for. And what kind of questions do you ask these private lenders? And how do you find them? What kind of letters do you send them? And that kind of thing. Now, how do you partner with people? And partnering is not with a private lender. Private lender is like a bank, and they're funding a mortgage for like 4 to 8%. Partners where you're splitting the profits down the middle after all costs are recuperated. And, how many do you need? Well, I would get 10 of them. Get 10 of them over the course of 12 months, and we'll help you find those. Then you need to talk to other investors and build your investors' buyers list. Working with other investors, well, how do you locate them? How do you find them? What questions do you ask these folks, especially when you're flipping? And then how do you build these business contacts, and how do you build your investor contacts? So building this team, this is a very important thing that we start in the very beginning, the first month that we're coaching you. It's so important that you get started building a team. So this ends this particular video. The last video is an exciting one. It really is a great one. I'm just going to give you a little heads up on it. It's just going to basically deal with all the kinds of ways that we buy property, and then what makes a good deal, and then how do we market ourselves? I mean, how does our business card look like? How do we get our advertising machine going where we have 5 different ways to find property? And then how do we look for different kinds of property, like condemned property and vacant property, tax sales, auctions, probate, evictions, those kinds of things. How do we get you going quickly? All right. So I look forward to talking to you on the last video. All right. Bye for now.